こんにちは、Miyakoです。今日も動画をご覧くださりありがとうございます。バレンタインデーはいかがでしたか？今日はバレンタインデーにちなんで特別企画を用意しました。私と夫はバレンタインデーが結婚記念日なので、今日は夫に登場してもらっていろいろ話をしてみたいと思います。今年結婚27周年を迎えましたが、これまでのいきさつを3部に分けて話していこうと思います。第1部は出会いから結婚まで、第2部が結婚式の当日の様子、第3部がその後の様子です。それでは夫に登場してもらいますが、夫は中国人で日本語が喋れないので、ここからは英語になります。This is my husband,
Xiao.Hi.
And I got many questions from my friends, so I'm gonna read those questions and Xiao will answer those. And sometimes we just talk the stories. First, when both of us came to the US?
We both came here 1991. I think January. I think both of us came in January. That was a long time ago.
I came January 10th, and then he arrived January 11th. So we came one day apart. And where did we meet?
We both went to a university in Mississippi. That's where we met. As a matter of fact, we met in the students' cafeteria.
Any matchmakers or friends help?
No, not really. But we were kind of in the same group of foreign students, because that university at that time was relatively small, and I guess there's a very small group of international students there. So that's why we all get together during lunch or dinner time.
Yeah, so we met every day for lunch and dinner. We ate together. How many people together? 6, 7.
Yeah, depends. Yeah.
What made you want to see each other again? So I think that's because we meet every day for meals with other friends. So we are not really try to meet each other. We just meet every day with other friends. And what was the first impression?
Well, the first, I guess I thought she was Chinese, so that's why I started to speak Chinese to her. And the reason was she was with another Chinese I met. Actually, she came from Taiwan, so I thought, well, maybe Miyako also is either Chinese or someone from Taiwan.
And then I was told that friend introduced him to me as her brother, so I thought he is Taiwanese also. So both had a misunderstanding between.
Yeah, this is something I think Chinese, if you know someone as a friend, so normally you call brothers or sisters.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was her real brother. My impression was just nice, and then we are sitting long table, and then so he was sitting maybe 2-3 people away, and then when I talked something, he was kind of sticking head out and then kind of looking at me and then try to listen to me and then talk to me or something like that. So I thought it was cute.
My first impression of Miyako was she is like so lively and energetic, full of passion. So that's why I guess I pay attention to her.
What common interests first drew us together?
Well, I guess food, because we went to the restaurant, not a restaurant, actually cafeteria to eat together. So yeah, we both like southern cooking. And then afterwards, we also have party together because we are a small group of international students. So whenever we have weekends, we try to get to somebody else's apartment so we can party, cook.
Yeah.
And also we go to movies because the school has a movie theater. Actually, with discounted price, so we went to a movie together. I think the most impression I had was when she invited me to her piano practice. So I was kind of shocked how talented she was. And yeah, I think that's probably when I fell in love.
Yeah, I remember after the playing, he came. I was playing on stage, preparing for audition, and then he came on the stage and then kissed my hand. I remember that. How do we communicate? What language?
Right now, of course, English. Well, when we first met, we both tried English, but at that time, none of us were good at it. So I was actually okay reading scientific papers, but conversational English, not so good. But we did figure out a way because we actually found out both Chinese and Japanese, we actually share some common characters. So in Japanese, it's called kanji, or in Chinese, we just call Chinese. And then especially for some complicated concept, we actually have to write it down, the Chinese characters, so we can basically understand this is what we're talking about, and then we can try as much as English we can master to try to communicate. But at the beginning, mostly just Chinese characters.
Mm-hmm. So I think I need to tell you the background a little bit. So I came to the US for studying music, piano, and then Xiao came to the US for studying science, biology. And then I was in English school, the English language school. And then Xiao was in graduate school already in the program. And for me, he speaks good English already compared to myself. And then I have trouble communicating with English. So that day we met for the first time at the cafeteria was Valentine's Day. And we both didn't realize that it was Valentine's Day because we are not really think about Valentine's Day. We are kind of busy for other things. And later, with the picture I took, that was next day we met in my friend's room. That was February 15th. So from that date, I figured out we met on Valentine's Day. And then 10 days later, I had my brother's wedding. So I went back to Japan for just 2 nights and just came back right away. But those 2 days, without meeting Xiao, I felt very sad. Kind of missed him a lot. So that time when I was in Japan, I kind of realized that I'm in love with him.
Yeah, I think the feeling is the same. So I knew she had to go back for brother's wedding. And then while she was away, I think really deep inside me says, you need to do something about after she comes back. But I actually don't know what I did afterwards, but we definitely get together more often. Valentine's Day as a concept, of course, back in China, it was not, I think I read probably in the literature, but I had no idea what that was about. So again, that date didn't register for me either.
Okay, first date. So right after I came back from Japan for my brother's wedding, we met, and then the day after I came back from Japan, the night, for me it was my first date with him, because other time we always have other friends with us, but this time was first time we went to dinner with only to each other.
And the reason we actually went to a dinner together by ourselves was we actually were watching a local news of Miyako's performance of Japanese dance in a local middle school or elementary school. And then because the news was on TV, we were told, so we watched that in the dormitory, actually a hall, student hall. And after that show, we tried to get our dinner together, but when we rushed to the student cafeteria, the door actually closed because their serving time was limited. So then I think I knew there was another place that it's kind of a small sandwich place that you still can go after the cafeteria closed. So that's when we went together, just two of us, and then had dinner together. Yeah. Not real dinner, sandwich.
Yeah. So at that time we are not dating yet, really officially, whatever. But for me, I think that's first date. It felt like that was the first date. You think so?
Yes.
That's interesting. Even we are not dating yet. Yeah. Also, after that, I need to fill up application form for schools, and then I had a problem with English, so he was helping me to do that. So he started to come to my room often to help me. So that's also the time we start to meet by ourselves without other friends. But still, we haven't say we want to date. Right, so that happened next month. That's less than a month we first met. We kind of told our feelings, and then we start to date since then. So this is one of the pictures, and then I consider as the first date. This was just 1 month after we started dating, and he just got the driver's license, so he drove me there, the nearby state park, and we spent weekend afternoon together just by ourselves. This is 2 months after we started dating, and this is in April during spring break. We have beautiful rose garden on campus, so we went there and then took many pictures together. So we started dating in March 1991, and then I finished my English school program, and then I moved on to study music in New York. So I left Mississippi and went to New York. So that's the separation we had.
Yeah, that was a tough time, long separation. So the only way we communicate was through telephone. But fortunately, I think at that time our English improved quite a lot, so we can actually use English and understand each other, even talking about feelings in English, which is, maybe actually helped us both to improve our English. And of course, during the vacation, summer or winter break, so I always try to get to New York. Just rent a car and drive 20 some hours. So one time actually I drove total of 22 hours non-stop from Mississippi to New York. That's how long it takes. Yeah, it was exciting but also tough. I think we managed to stay close together even with the distance between us. And then eventually I was able to convince her to come back to Mississippi to do her doctorate degree. And then I guess everything else is, as they say, it's history.
Yeah, so I started my graduate school in 1992, January, and then took 2 years and a half to finish it. And then I came back to Mississippi to be together with him. And then I continued my graduate school in the same school as Charles. So then we got married 1995 on February 14th, Valentine's Day. それではパート2でまたお会いしましょう。この番組ではアメリカ在住30周年を迎えた私が住むフレデリックでの生活や活動の様子を紹介しています。これまでの動画ではフレデリックの街の様子、訪れたレストランやマーケット、飼い猫や家の周りの様子、お気に入りのレシピなどをアップしています。またピアノとヨガを教えていることから、ピアノ曲の動画やヨガ、健康に関する動画も出しています。今後はこれらに加えて、私の趣味やお気に入りの映画や本、音楽などについてもお届けしていく予定です。お楽しみに。今日も最後までご視聴くださりありがとうございました。今日の動画が面白かった、または少しでもお役に立てたら、いいねボタンを押していただけると励みになるのでよろしくお願いします。またチャンネル登録もしていただけるととても嬉しいです。ご感想、ご質問がありましたら、ぜひお気軽にコメント欄へお寄せください。お待ちしています。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。みやこでした。